In this video, I'd like to go over a few of the different aspects as far as ChatGPT and AI now that we've had it for a full year. We just had the birthday of ChatGPT, and now it's gone from being this infant baby that's just opening its eyes to now it's going into the toddler era, right? So now it's over at 1 year old, so it's a toddler, and it's continuing to develop. There's no slowing down its growth and development. So let's talk about some of the different aspects here. We've gone through lots of different things as far as the AI being banned in some areas, some universities saying, no, we can't use it at all. And now there's some growing acceptance of it. And finally, we're starting to get more guidance coming out. There's some different regulations that different governments and organizations are pushing. So this is some good development. Of course, there's still plenty of room for more AI literacy, training, and development in that regards, but that's something that's going to be ongoing. What I want to talk about are some predictions, some thoughts about what's coming and what we need to do to try and address some of those issues. The first part deals with, now that we've had AI, generative AI, for about a year, a little bit over a year, there's going to be more and more research coming out. I know many different faculty that are doing research right now. So as soon as this semester ends, we'll be getting a lot of feedback, a lot of different observations as far as how AI is working in education. I think there's going to be lots of different perspectives. We'll be able to gain a lot, but this is going to be an ongoing thing because we have students now that are coming at it with a perception or a mindset of just now being exposed. Well, what about in a few years where students will have been exposed for a long time in high school, and now they're into college, and now they're expecting to use AI? Those are going to be many different ways of viewing it. So that's important to look at on the horizon, current mindsets of what students view, what students think, as well as how instructors are using it and thinking about it, and then how that's going to develop here in the very near future. So that's an important thing to look out for. Now, what do I predict as far as something that's coming up soon? I think a major one is going to be wearables. So wearables come in different fashions and different ways of doing it. Meta has come out with Ray-Bans that you can wear. So it's glasses that you simply put on, you hit a button, and you can say, hey, Meta, and then ask it all sorts of AI questions. This is going to continue to develop in that it's supposed to have vision capabilities here in the new year, starting in January. So that will really change and amplify its capabilities. In the same way, there's a wearable from Humane AI that is just sort of a small little pendant type thing that you can put on your clothing. And from that, now you have AI. The big thing here is that this now changes the fundamental way that we interact with the AI, and that it'll be always on, always available. So we can always access it. That's going to change the way that we perceive it and the way that we use it, and then the way that it's going to affect us. So I'll talk about that here in a little bit as well. The other big thing I think that's going to happen in this next year is going to be AI integration into robots and the widespread use of robots in many different ways. Everything from robots that are used with children to as a plaything, as well as a tool to help them develop, to larger robots that can be used at a house to help people. Of course, industry is going to continue to use robots, but then also thinking about things like autonomous vehicles. Those are robots as well that will be using AI in advanced ways. So that's going to continue to increase. The other thing is going to be the increased numbers of AI. So right now we have many different AIs. I'd like to read them to you just so that you get a small exposure to the number of AIs that we currently have. And this isn't even all of them. So of course we have ChatGPT, 2 flavors there, the regular free version as well as the paid version using GPT-4, GPT-5 that might be coming out here pretty soon. We also have Google Bard, Microsoft Bing Chat, Meta AI, Anthropic, Poe, Jasper, Quillbot, Code Whisperer, Conmingo, Perplexity, UChat, Replica, Mitsuko, Grote, GigaChat, that's from Russia, Ernie, that's from China, Site. There's all sorts of many different iterations, capabilities, utilizations, and I'm not even talking about the GPTs that now you can make with ChatGPT. So what I view is that there's going to be even more more AIs that are going to be coming out, open source AIs, all sorts of different things coming out. I think that's going to continue to expand. And then maybe in a year or two, then it'll contract as a lot more come together. But I think that the ease of creating AIs is going to really become, again, something that everyone will be doing because of the open source aspect. So that's something to really look out for. Now, some other key things that we really have to also think about here in dealing with the AI are some of the different aspects as far as the issues. So ethics, of course, is going to continue to be an issue that we need to always be talking about. And this is something that needs to be happening now as well as into the future. What about appropriate use? What about academic integrity? What about its effects on society? What's going to happen when it takes over a bunch of different jobs? What are we going to do with the AI? So that's an important thing to really think about, some ethical aspects of this. Along with that, we need to be looking at its overall effects on the environment, of course, as well as some physical aspects. Is it going to be affecting people in a negative way? What are some mental things that we need to be thinking about? Mental health is an extremely important aspect. And I know that AI can be used to really help people with mental issues, but we also need to know, are we going to be able to use it in an effective, proper way that it doesn't cause us mental issues? So those are all things that we really need to be discussing. Another major one, and I made another video about this, but it's something that we really need to be thinking about, especially once we have wearables that will allow us to have AI always with us, always on, easily accessible, simply a touch of a button, or just saying, hey, Meta, hey, AI, and then asking it a question. When it's always available to us, we really need to think about issues associated with over-reliance, right? So if we're using it all the time, and then we become so reliant on it because it's going to continually improve to the point where we can rely on it. But if we reach this point of over-reliance, then that might cause us to lose skills. That might cause us to be able to rely on it so much that it prevents us from gaining new skills. Some of those things are okay, but some of those things we really need to question. We really need to make a conscious decision on the skills that we're letting go and on what we're allowing it to be reliant on. A case in point is something as simple as what we do in our job. If we're allowing the AI to always do it, we might lose that capability. So if we lose that capability, will we still be able to know what right looks like? What if there's a problem, something goes, a virus or something happens, and now it's starting to give out false information? We still need to keep a human in the loop in multiple levels. Again, for small stakes as well as for large stakes. We really have to be thinking about that. And that's an important thing that is going to be going forward, especially as these new technologies continue to evolve and we start to use it in different, really cool and interesting and effective ways. But we have to remember where we need to keep that human in the loop, and we have to maintain those foundational skills. That's why AI literacy is important, even to just understand and maintain an awareness, maintain this critical thinking about the AI. Again, I very much love AI and all of its capabilities, but we have to always keep that critical thinking, that critical mindset in order to ensure that we're using it effectively, we're using it appropriately, we're using it ethically. So those are some of my predictions, some thoughts, some things that we need to keep an eye on, and we need to continue to push forward. And together we'll be able to successfully move forward with whatever AI brings us. And remember, learning is for life.